let's start with these recruits, and one of them we're going to see on the field this year. So let's get to the priority of 2022 defensive tackle Ayobami Tifase. Did I do okay on that, Logan?
Close enough.
Close?
I think you did good.
Out of Maryland, 6'5", 300 pounds, 3-star. Have you gotten a chance to see him a little bit?
Our guy Dustin was there to meet him during this last weekend whenever he was taking his visit. First off, we need to mention that supposedly he has the strongest handshake that I think any recruit last couple of years we've seen. That's what Dustin and a few of the other B reporters said. So that's already telling you something that he's coming in with some determination. But no, this is a guy that is really, really late. And I think it's worth mentioning. I think a lot of people were like, oh, cool, I guess 2023. All right, cool, whatever. But no, this is a 2022 guy coming in with some serious size. 6'4", 310. I believe didn't get to play a season up there in Maryland due to COVID. So, the rankings are the rankings, but, getting him in early to be under Coach Storms, definitely Coach Odell. I mean, we got to give our props here to Coach Odell Higgins. I think he grabs a lot of heat from FSU fans, and that's understandable. It's kind of up and down for Odell, but this is definitely his guy that he grabs, which you can add to that class now with Daniel Lyons, Bishop Thomas, who I thought had pretty impressive, I'd say, a true freshman springs out of them, but you'd like to have one more guy. I believe, though, due to academic redshirt, I'm not entirely sure if he's going to be able to participate this upcoming season or not. But for him to be into the fold, already get into the system with Coach Odell, and then also be with Coach Storms and continuing to develop his body, this is a guy that likes to work. This is a dude. Go over to his Instagram. You can see he likes to train. He's trained by really good trainers. He's also working out a ton. And overall, the size is something I think Florida State fans should really like adding into this defensive line room, which is a big-time need. Florida State made a focus this offseason to build in the trenches. And, it can't just be on one side with the offense. It's got to be defensively, too. So now I do like this room a lot more in that true freshman class. Adding Tifase in here along with Lyons, and you now have Thomas there too. So this was a need. It's something that they need to do, and we'll see how he develops. But I think we got to give your props here to Coach Odell Higgins, because there was definitely a lot of chatter with some other schools, and he ends up picking Florida State primarily, I think, over Arkansas here.
Yeah.
And Odell does his thing.
And you mentioned a little bit, obviously, going back, Florida State has had traditionally gotten guys from the state of Maryland. Obviously, he's from Townsend, Maryland. It looks like, just looking up his information, visited Virginia Tech, Arkansas, and Florida State within a 5-day period. So Florida State winning out over another AC school, Virginia Tech, and taking one from Arkansas. But my question to you, Logan, is you mentioned how a lot of people thought he was going to come in the class of 2023. What went into the process to get him a part of the class of 2022? How did that go about?
For a majority of this was all in-house, and what he wanted to reclassify and get to Florida State earlier. This all has to do with academics and what is going on in that situation. As we know, as being a Florida State, at least covering Florida State and also Florida State fans, they know that there's a lot of stuff that goes into academics and getting guys in and making sure that they're eligible and such. But this was all into the program and his decision on wanting to get here earlier. This 6'4", 311 pounds. This is a guy that you like to have in here earlier rather than later. And, looking into that 2024 room of sophomores next season, not this upcoming one, but next season, you've got Daniel Lyons, Bishop Thomas, and now you got Tifase, which you like a lot more than just having those two in there initially.
And I think, Logan, I'm going to agree with him 100%. I think this is a rebirth of Odell Higgins. We talked about him a little bit. Odell has been the man. I mean, obviously, as the interim coach several times now, but also has just been the man on that assistant coaching staff for decades. And I feel like there was a question of how much longer did Odell have left? How much longer, was he going to be able to go out and get these guys? And I mean, this is a big man, like you said, a big worker, a big hoss, and somebody who shows that Odell's not going anywhere. I think Odell is stuck with that unit, and then another guy that we're going to talk about in the 2023 class. I don't think Odell's going anywhere for a while. I think we're going to see Odell for at least a couple more years in Tallahassee.
Yeah, and then this was just one last thing on him. This was, last minute type of deal here for Odell. And, he was offered, I believe in April, and they started communicating. This was all on Odell. This was his recruitment here that he went in. He said, Tifase told us that he was, talking to Odell, twice a day, staying in tight communication. He never let go of the communication. We talked probably twice a day, every day. It's been a major turnaround. The more they kept recruiting me, made me more interested to come here and visit to see what they have to offer and what I have to offer them. It looked like we connected on that, and I love them. So, he definitely committed here for Odell Higgins, and I don't blame him whatsoever from what Odell's been able to do to put guys into the league as one of the most consistent coaches in Florida State history as being an assistant to put guys in the league. That's Odell Higgins.